Questions? Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the packing and stacking and stuff
Yeah.
of sustainable cities and things. Here's just a food for thought from history, okay? Think about this. Buildings with no parking lots, right? Walking paths, things like that. Think about this, how serious this is. There were work camps within walking distance of places like Auschwitz, Dachau, Bergen-Belsen. Okay? Think about it. Think about where this is going. This is really beyond scary. Okay?
I agree. That's why we're doing what we're doing. I see that. Individual human beings, individual citizens, you all have hopes and dreams. You grew up with ideas of what you wanted to do with your life. Somebody else has decided arrogantly that they will decide for you because they know better. Anybody, raise their hands if anybody has ever seen government do something better than a private operation. Anybody?
Yeah, waste money.
I knew you were going to say that. But improvement? No, they don't. I want to, yeah.
The question I have is, how do we as individuals get our local representatives to represent us? I mean, if they're ignoring us for the ranking, how do we get them out to?
You know, that's a very good question, and some people have succeeded in doing that. Rindge, New Hampshire, tiny little community, found out this stuff was going on there. Some of the individuals there found out all this stuff was going on. They had a county commission that was starting to bring in this kind of stuff. And they succeeded in rising up. And they did several things, but one of the, and after it took a couple of years, one of the things they did was completely re-elect a new county commission. And the second thing they did was they put in through this process a rule in the community that the local government could not apply for a new HUD grant unless, until after there was a vote of the people. So it had to be a referendum on the ballot. And I thought that was genius that they did that, because they can't just do it in the back rooms now. They have to do it in front of the people. And that's what. Let me, just very quickly, I know we're very late, and I apologize, but we have come up with, people ask me all the time, how do we fight back? What do we do? And I've spent the last several years trying to come up with new plans. It's funny because everything we used to put out, articles and DVDs, everything kept saying, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. I finally started getting notes back from people that said, okay, I get it. What do I do about it? And I said, gee, I don't know. I never got that far before. So I spent the last several years working on that. And if you go to my website, AmericanPolicy.org, you'll find we've got 15 years of archives and articles. We've got, I've got a booklet I've got out here on my table, Agenda 21 and how to stop it. We've got our action kit, our Agenda 21, Stop Agenda 21 Action Kit, which is the mother of them all, and several other things. But I took my own experience after 47 years of working in these issues, and I took it to other people, and I put together a 5-point plan. Very simple. We don't have a lot of resources. I don't get grants. I wouldn't take them if they were available. So we have to do things very carefully. I put together this plan, has a $500,000 budget. Now that seems like a lot of money until you think of the billions that we're up against. But I believe that this plan, if fully implemented, will turn the corner on this thing. Let me just go through it very quickly for you. And I've got some of these out in the, on my table out there. But the first thing we want to put together is a national training seminar. Now, as I mentioned, for the first time ever, I'm starting to get elected officials calling me. People maybe who have sat in meetings like this, and they decided to run for election. And when they get on there, they want to do something about it. So they call me up and say, Tom, I just got elected. What do I do? How do I affect this? And I'll give them several ideas. And I've had them call me back and say, okay, I did that. Now what do I do? That never happened before. We have an elected state representative out in the state of Washington, Matt Shea, who is brilliant. He has put together a freedom coalition in that legislature. Last year, they introduced 64 bills, all designed to cut the size reach, power, cost of government. And they got hearings on 40 some of those bills, and they got 14 of them passed. This year he did it again. What we're finding is these states that put together these one-size-fits-all bills. We're going to ban Agenda 21 and protect property rights. That's what we hear all the time. 10 different states have tried this. It doesn't work. It has no teeth. First of all, the other side never says Agenda 21. This is just local. And if you don't define your terms, what do you mean by property rights? If you don't define your terms, and if you only have one bill, then they can take all their resources aimed at that one bill and crush it. Happened in Oklahoma. So using Matt Shea's pattern here, putting a legislative plan together is the way to go. So we want to put together a training seminar for all these elected officials across the country that are already working with us, already get it. And we can have them sit in a room and they can discuss it and come up with a plan and with language that has teeth, knowing as legislators they know, and I'm talking city councils and county commissioners too, they know what they need to do. In the other room, we've got activists, you guys, the people on the front lines, and they're learning new tactics on how to deal with it on a local level and how to support what these guys in the legislative room come up with so that when they introduce it, there's support to get it passed. Nothing is worse than to get a legislator on our side to put in a bill and they're there alone and they get their head chopped off and we're not there to help them. So we need a plan to put that together. So that's the first thing, a national training seminar. Second thing, we're putting together a 15-minute video. What do you hear all over the country? Every elected official, Agenda 21, never heard of it. We're going to put together a video that is narrated by an elected official, County Commissioner Richard Rothschild in Carroll County, Maryland, the first county led by him to get out of ICLEI. He is brilliant on discussing Agenda 21 with other elected officials. He's going to narrate this, and it's going to be entitled, Your Actions Have Consequences. And we're going to show them what it is. We're going to send it to every single elected official in the country. I may call on you guys to send it to your own. So they can no longer say, I never heard of it. Third thing, field coordinators across the country to come into communities to help people organize. People want to do something. They don't know what to do. How do you get started? We'll get field coordinators trained to know how to do that. Fourth thing, a clearinghouse, a website for information. Not having enough information in our movement. We have some people doing brilliant things, like the people in Ringe. We have brilliant things happening. We have legislation. We have other ideas. How do we get that out there so that everybody knows about it? We'll put it on this website. We'll put on there the connection information so that if somebody new starts up and they want to do something, they can find who's already working on it in their area. So it's a clearinghouse to do that. The fifth thing is, as you all know, most people in the country don't even know anything about this. They've never heard of it. Never talked about it on television, nothing. So a public outreach is what we're working towards. One of the first things I've done is I've created a symbol for our movement. It says people, property, freedom. Those three things cannot be separated. People, property, freedom. What we're going to use this for, we've got property rights groups, freedom groups all over this country. And we're going to put together a statement of principles of what this means. And those organizations will need to sign that statement of principles, agree to it, and then they'll be able to use this symbol in their websites, their logos, or their letterheads, whatever, in their publications. They have it. The second thing you can do with this is businesses that we will get to sign who go along with this can use it in their advertising so you know who the good businesses are and who to take care of. I don't think Walmart will be having one of these. Okay. So, that's the first thing. The second part of the outreach is a series of television ads. As I said, you never see it on television. You never hear it talked about. How many have seen those tearjerker ads of the poor dogs and cats that are abused by people, bringing tears to your face? Everybody seen those? As I watch those, I always have the same thought. How about the people who own their property and had their dreams shattered by these programs? I've seen tears in their eyes. We need to tell people about that. Well, we have to do it in a system. And we're going to do it in a building block kind of way. We've already produced the first ad. I'm working now to get the money to get it on television, and it goes straight out Agenda 21. Eventually, we'll be able to bring in the ads to show the victims. You can't tell people you got victims if they don't know what you're talking about. So we're going to build it like that. Do you have that the ad? Where'd she go? Yeah, you got it up there? Yeah. Okay. Is it up here? I want you to see this. This is a first. It's a start. It's loading. And I have a lady named Susan Toms who's written a song called Shattered Dreams, and we'll be using that in some of these ads as well.
Agenda 21 will require...
That is not the start.
You need to know there are people who would take your home, your car, and your way of life. They call themselves stakeholders or NGOs. They operate through non-elected regional councils. It's called visioning, smart growth, sustainable development, all part of an international blueprint named Agenda 21. When enforced, these plans destroy your freedom. It's all hidden in the back rooms of government. Just listen.
Effective execution of Agenda 21 will require a profound reorientation of all humans, unlike anything the world has ever experienced.
To you and your family, this means the end of
Ski runs, grazing of livestock, plowing of soil, building fences, industry, single-family homes are deemed unsustainable.
But they won't stop there.
We reject the idea of private property.
Stop Agenda 21. Learn more about the threat of Agenda 21 and get your free booklet from the American Policy Center.
Well, that's a start. That booklet, by the way, I have them out here on the table. So this is our plan. This is our 5-point plan. I realize there are all kinds of other things we can do, but every one of these items is something I put in front of other people in my own experience telling me these will be effective, and every one of them, if I have the funds in hand, I can start every one of them, get them underway in a matter of hours with phone calls I know to make. And so that's why we put it together. We can do it. We have very, very, very limited resources. I can't afford a whole lot of grandiose ideas, but these will be effective. And you want to see sustainable city go into a panic? The people putting all these programs together, let's start doing this. And by the way, on that, on the training seminar, I may have a one-day conference the day before it where we bring in some speakers to speak and have other people join us. What I want to do on that evening is have a black tie dinner, and I want to honor all of the inductees into the Southern Poverty Law Center's domestic terrorist list. We're going to honor them all. They're all my friends. So this is our plan. You can go to my website or Indiegogo.com and see the ad there, and there's a way to donate to it and so forth. We've got to raise the money to get this done, and so I present it to you, and I appreciate your support, and thank you very much.